My parents tracked every dollar they spent on me, but never counted what they gave my brother, so I did the math for them. I found the ledger in my dad's office while looking for a stapler to fix my resume. The notebook sat on his desk with my name written on the spine in permanent marker. My fingers trembled as I flipped it open and saw rows of numbers dating back to my childhood. Every birthday gift had a price next to it in red ink. My school supplies were itemized down to individual pencils and erasers. The air conditioning hummed loudly as I turned page after page of meticulous documentation. My baseball glove from 6th grade was listed at $42 with the receipt taped beside it. The notebook tracked my braces with monthly payment breakdowns highlighted in yellow. I heard footsteps in the hallway and shoved the ledger under my shirt. My heart hammered against the notebook's hard cover as I walked past my mom in the kitchen. She glanced up from her coffee and her eyes narrowed at the rectangular bulge under my clothing. I mumbled something about grabbing papers and bolted to my car with the evidence pressed against my ribs. The driver's seat creaked as I collapsed into it and pulled out the ledger. I drove to my apartment and spread every page across my kitchen table under the harsh overhead light. The total at the bottom of the final page read $118,000 circled 3 times in red. My roommate walked in and stopped dead when he saw the papers covering every surface. I pointed at the itemized list and watched his face contort with confusion. The ceiling fan clicked rhythmically as he picked up a page showing my childhood haircuts at $15 each. My phone buzzed with a text from my brother Gavin asking if I wanted to grab dinner. I screenshot the message and slapped my phone face down on the pile of evidence. The refrigerator kicked on with a loud rattle as I grabbed a notebook to start my own calculations. My pen scratched furiously across the paper as I listed everything I knew my parents had given Gavin. The new truck they bought him for graduation sat in his driveway, worth at least $35,000. His apartment deposit and first year of rent totaled another $20,000 easily. My roommate whistled low when he saw my running total already exceeding mine. I had always believed my parents treated us equally, despite my brother being the obvious favorite. My mom always said they kept careful track to ensure perfect fairness between us. I pulled up my banking records on my laptop and cross-referenced every deposit from my parents. The screen glowed bright as I discovered they had charged me back for my college textbooks. My jaw dropped when I found receipts showing they billed me for family vacation expenses. I scrolled through 3 years of transactions and felt my stomach turn with each discovery. They had deducted my portion of the cable bill from birthday money they gave me. The laptop fan whirred louder as I opened another spreadsheet to track the deductions. I found a folder in my email where my dad had sent itemized bills disguised as family updates. The mouse clicked rapidly as I opened attachment after attachment of hidden invoices. My brother had no such folder in any of his communications with our parents. I checked his social media and saw posts thanking them for surprise gifts with no strings attached. I grabbed the ledger and drove straight to my parents' house with the evidence piled on my passenger seat. The front door was unlocked and I pushed it open so hard it banged against the wall stopper. My parents sat in the living room with Gavin eating takeout from containers spread across the coffee table. I slammed the ledger down on the table and watched soy sauce splash onto the carpet. My dad's chopsticks clattered against his plate as he recognized his own handwriting. I demanded to see Gavin's ledger. My mom's face went pale and she gripped the couch cushion. She whispered, "We never made one for him." The words hung in the air as Gavin slowly lowered his food container. I pulled out my spreadsheet showing his gifts totaling over $200,000. My dad stood up and knocked his drink onto the carpet where it spread in a dark stain. Gavin's truck keys sat on the entry table next to the door, glinting under the hallway light. I pointed at them and then at my calculations with a hand that would not stop shaking. My mom started crying and her tears dripped onto her silk blouse, leaving dark spots. I grabbed the takeout containers and threw them into the trash can so hard the lid flew off. My dad reached for the ledger and I snatched it back, clutching it against my chest. Gavin stood up and his chair scraped loudly against the hardwood floor. I showed him the page listing my 10th birthday party at $300 requiring repayment. He grabbed the notebook and his eyes scanned the entries while his mouth fell open. The ceiling fan wobbled overhead as everyone stood frozen in the wrecked living room. I pulled out my phone and photographed every page while my mom begged me to stop. My dad lunged for the phone and I dodged sideways, knocking a lamp off the end table. The bulb shattered on the floor and glass scattered across the carpet. Gavin threw the ledger at our dad and it hit him square in the chest. I gathered every scattered page and shoved them back into the ruined ledger binding. My parents owed me the difference of over $80,000 based on my calculations. I announced this number out loud and watched my mom collapse onto the couch, clutching her chest. My dad grabbed the wall for support. Gavin picked up his keys and walked out the front door without saying goodbye. I placed my spreadsheet on the coffee table next to the spilled soy sauce stain. I told them I expected a check within 30 days or I would share everything with the extended family. My mom's sobs echoed through the house as I walked toward the door. I stepped over the threshold and pulled the door closed behind me. I stood alone on the porch, holding 6 years of proof against my chest.